AOFF. It's in the name. Hey! Greetings, ladies and metal gents, to the first ever AOFF event. I was programmed to respond to the name Dave, and this is my co-host Guy.
I am fully functional.
Functional indeed, and together we will be commentating on E1's fights. What do you say, Guy? Do you have a good feeling about E1?
I was not made to feel anything, Dave, just to commentate and speculate on AOFF fights. And I must say I agree with the pundits. Sombat Bukawa Benchamek should on paper be the best fighter on the current roster. Mostly because he is a well-rounded fighter, with kicks almost as lethal as CroCop's and decent punches. The rest is mostly guesswork, with Bruce Lee and Helio Gracie certainly coasting on their reputations. While if you ask me, Butterbean Esch shouldn't even be on the roster. Maybe the pundits were too harsh on Mike Tyson and CroCop, but they are somewhat of a one-trick pony, as they say. Tyson can demolish with his punches, but can he defend against CroCop's kicks? Time will tell.
Well, enough talk. Let's get down to the action. Our first match ever for the OAFF is between Brock Lesnar and Justino.
Well, that's one advantage of mixed martial arts Justino has. She hit him right in the jewels.
And look at that! What a gentleman! Brock treating Cyborg just like you would any other man.
By throwing her on the mat?
Now that is something you do not see a big guy do all the time. He just did it again. If you ever wonder why most people bet on Lesnar to win this fight, this is why. Not many people can manhandle their opponents like that.
I wonder when we will actually be able to buy cyborgs.
Why are you asking?
For a friend.
You are hopeless. You know that?
Some nice footwork there by Justino. Ow! That must have hurt!
Are kicks to the head allowed?
Officially, there are no rules, but that kind of fighting might just anger Brock more. Told you!
Maybe that was her plan all along? Make him lose his game plan?
Maybe. Those Brazilians are very disciplined. Oh my, that is something only Cyborg can do. And to Lesnar of all people? Not sure he would like to be reminded of this in the press conference. Looks like Justino has the upper hand on the ground.
I think he heard you. You think we will hear if her hand snaps?
Well, someone pushed the punch button on Cyborg. Look at her go. Can she keep this up? Ground defense by Brock. Gotta look out the window. Are pigs flying? Oh my! Is she bleeding?
I believe it's normal, Dave. Happens every month.
Not sure if cyborgs dream of electric sheep, but they sure bleed. That's some fast handwork.
Looks like she is indeed tickling Brock really fast.
You are an evil man, Guy. I am sure you felt at least some of those. She heard you, Guy. Change punch settings to slow and hard.
I can only wish I had a girl that would do that for me.
Is that an Ippon? Is he aware it's not worth points?
Screw that. Is he aware decapitation is not worth extra points? Justino sure has the grace of a sack of potatoes.
They're gassing out. What is surprising is that both of them are. Justino, no doubt, because she is leaking motor oil or whatever she has for blood. While Lesnar, because a giant his size, shouldn't move like that to begin with. Oh my! Oh my! She got his leg! She got his leg bad. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Lesnar tapped out. Justino caught him in a reverse Achilles.
Achilles! He tapped out? Weakness disgusts me.
Our first match ever, and we had quite an upset. My money was on Brock, but it does not seem Lesnar took this match seriously while Justino did.
Well, it's not fair. She gave him a BJJ.
Guys, we need to talk to HR about this guy. First match of OAFF and already a perfect score. This just means that Brock will at least take home some valuable points that will help him recover from a debut I am sure he would want to forget.
They will also be splitting the extra points for a bloodied match, thanks to Justino's leakage. Let me do the math real quick. Looks like Brock will get 5.6 points, while Cyborg will take home 6.6. Oh, numero de besta, as she would no doubtly say.
Our second match of OAFF E1 is between Valentina Bullet Shevchenko and Vasyl High-Tech Lomaschenko.
Or the Battlechenko, as most fans are calling it.
And just look at this speed start. Loma just dodged one of Valentina's spinning punches. Looks like neither is wasting time and are looking to impress in their debut. Well, there is something you will not do, guy. You will never kick a woman off you.
After all the effort of getting them there in the first place? Not a chance! Somewhat similar fighters, I think the main difference between them will be skill, not style.
They are fairly different. One is a ballerina and the other one swallowed the blue pill and uses bullet time. Oddly enough, it's not the one nicknamed Bullet. Nice uppercut. Slower than usual for Loma. Do you think he is going for an early kill?
Let me calculate. Calculating. A definite maybe.
Helpful. As usual. Well, that's what you get when you pitch a kickboxer against a boxer.
I thought Loma was a dancer.
Really? You? Out of the two of them, you thought Loma was the dancer? For the record, both of them have dancing backgrounds, and it shows. Now he is just showing off. Might impress the AOFF referees who might give him some extra flair points if he keeps this up.
Let's just hope he can still stand if she keeps this up. That leg didn't bend well.
He is going for the head, not a position he is used to, but he seems to be adapting well.
Are you sure? He is not doing better on his feet.
Valentina should be better on the mat, and she knows it, and by the looks of it, also wants to show it. But denied again. Loma just does not want her on top of him.
I don't know Dave. He seems confident on top of her at least.
I think going for the back of the head is part of his game plan. Just not sure if he planned it from the get-go or adapted on the fly. Oh yeah, he sure is targeting her head. Very aggressive and uncharacteristic for Loma. He is mostly known for his technical abilities and finesse.
Did you mean finesse?
I regret nothing. Yeah, that's more like Loma. Looks like he regained some composure. Valentina sure is struggling to keep her defense up on the ground.
What about her offense?
This is exactly the situation Loma was trying to avoid. I'm surprised this match sees this much mat. Oh, well that's a punch from the nightmare land of professional boxers. Another one? Looks like Shevchenko has no answer.
That looked like an answer. Looks like she has a new game plan. Body kicks.
That looked bad. And look at him. He knows it. Showing off some more. Is she out? No. The ref would have stopped it. She's in a very bad spot. She tapped out. She tapped out. 1-on-1.
Looks like despite the cheering, the refs were somewhat harsh with the scorecard. Only a rating of 79. Neither will be happy with the points they are taking home.
Yes, I believe that Loma, despite being awarded 0.1 flare points, is still technically at least half a point under Lesnar, who lost a match earlier in E1. Just shows you that it's not necessarily about winning, it's also about how you fight.
Not to mention poor Valentina, not even a full 4 points, but rather a very petty 3.95. The AOFF refs sure are something. And that concludes the Battlechenko.
Our third match of OAFF E1 is between BJJ pioneer Helio Gracie and Iron Mike. This match will be all about how well can Helio avoid getting punched and taking it to the ground, where he can work his Brazilian magic.
So far, not so much avoidance, Dave.
Smart there by Tyson, not to go down to Gracie. Cause this might happen.
Looks like Tyson did some homework.
Or it just pays off to be much bigger. Look at that fearless pounce.
And look at those fearless punches.
Impressive takedown. What can Mike even do against these?
Squash Helio's head like a grape?
Looks like his hands are otherwise occupied. Nice counter there by Helio. Nice denial as well, and straight into some sort of Brazilian head and arm massage.
Now that is a massage I wouldn't like.
Not even from Helio?
Especially not from Helio. Looks like Mike agrees with me.
You can say that again. Looks like Tyson did not like that one bit.
I'm surprised Helio can take that much punishment.
Yes, starting to look a bit one-sided, but according to pundits, Helio is a slight favorite because of Mike's lack of general MMA experience. I suppose that takedowns like these are what those pundits were talking about.
What did they say about punches like these, though?
Not in the face, Mike. Not in the face.
Don't laugh, Dave. You are scaring the pigeons.
Did you hear that pop? I think Mike's arm just snapped.
Oh, meu Deus.
Well, this is the first injury the OAFF has to deal with. I think this means E2 will have at least one new face currently not signed by the AOFF.
I did not expect Helio to win this. Did you?
To be honest, I didn't. Looks like a respectable 84 rating that will see them splitting some decent points. But poor Mike, sitting E2 out because of injury will be a huge setback for his OAFF career.
Table looks interesting, with 2 matches still to go in E1, so Justino is still at the top, with Brock despite the loss still ahead of Helio and Loma. While Valentina can at least be happy she didn't pick up an injury.
Our fourth match of AOFF E1 is between Brandon Lee's father and Lucko PD reject Mirko CroCop.
Not sure most people know them by these titles, but you do you. The fans are calling this the Kicknado. Do you think we will see any kicks this match?
And Bruce Lee is already airborne.
Light like a feather and stings like a bee, right?
While technically true, I can't even begin to address on how many levels that statement was wrong. It does not look like we will see much groundwork this match.
I can hear the Brazilians turning off the broadcast already.
Nope, looks like at least CroCop wants to keep the fight on its feet.
So you are suggesting he had a chat with Tarantino before the match?
What?
You know.
Speaking of feet, CroCop just ate some. These are some crazy fast punches by Bruce Lee.
Bruce connects more, but I think he also feels it more when Mirko snipes a hit.
What a beautiful kick! No wonder Bruce Lee is considered the father of modern martial arts.
I thought it was Chuck Norris.
I see what you did there. Oh my God! The precision and confidence you need to pull that kind of kick boggles the mind.
Sure as hell boggled Mirko's mind. And Lee sure keeps on boggling it.
Looks like my hunch was right. Bruce Lee certainly does not want to take this to the ground, judging by his jumping on CroCop. Seems like they have a gentleman's agreement and are trading kicks in the center of the octagon.
If the OAFF had rounds, Mirko would have certainly won that one.
And maybe that one as well. CroCop is trying to go airborne.
They do say imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Looks like both fighters gassing out. Both took a lot of punishment.
Enough gas for liftoff, it seems.
But just enough for a crash landing. Luckily for Bruce, Mirko was caught as much off guard as we did and did not capitalize. Or maybe he is trying now. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first ground play so far. Something the smaller Lee should avoid at all costs.
And look at that, Lee is bleeding.
If anything, that seems to have angered him. What a shutdown! Lee had the initiative there, but this sure as hell put an end to it. Maybe even the match? No way! Lee broke Mirko's jaw! What an ending out of nowhere! And AOFF's first KO! What a dramatic ending! From getting kicked on the ground to a spectacular flying kick to the face KO.
Crowd also loved it, an almost perfect rating of 94. While CroCop will miss E2 due to injury, but at least he took 5.2 points, which is more than Loma, who actually won his fight.
With just one more fight to go in E1, Bruce Lee now sits very comfortably at the top of the table, and he even looks like a strong contender for the title.
Our main event of AOFF E1 is a bout between main title contenders Sombat, Benchamek, and Butterbean.
A fight everyone is affectionately calling the Butterbean. The only way Eric can win this is with a lucky punch. Bukawa is just so much a better fighter than him.
Yet Butterbean built a whole career on those lucky punches, starting to suspect some skill is involved.
Right in the stomach.
Let's face it, it's a target which is hard to miss.
So who do you think will win? One of the most decorated Muay Thai fighters in existence, or Butterbean?
Let's just say Eric wasn't signed by the OAFF only for his good looks. He is one of the most infamous glass cannons in recent memories. A well-timed punch from Butterbean can send anyone to sleep. Complacency against Eric will lead to a very painful loss. And I assume this is the type of wild card the OAFF were looking for by signing such an unorthodox fighter.
Oh wow, stuff like that?
Yes, he might gas out early, but he has a few tricks up his. Flaps!
I thought I was the one programmed with the vicious remarks.
Looks like another fight in which the fighters refuse to go to the ground. That's a dangerous liver punch. Looks like Benchamek learned his lesson and is now being more careful around Eric.
One could say he came a long way around.
Not careful enough. Eric got him flat in the nose and it's bleeding.
Did Sombat get the memo? He does not seem to have noticed.
He seems to have noticed something. He is cleaning his gloves.
Chamuk!
What?
That's how you say nose in Thai. Someone yelled that at him.
Guy, stop that a 2D2 shit. It's creepy.
It's C3PO, you uncultured swine.
Speaking of swine, looks like we have bacon on the floor.
That is just uncalled for.
What do they do with pork in Thailand, Mr. Worldwide? Pad Thai?
Now you are just mean.
Fine, I will adjust myself to 5.3% less mean then. Just kidding, I can't change factory settings. So look at that piggy fall.
Looks like another small break. Is Benchamek toying with him? What's the game plan?
Maybe he is fishing for flare points?
Hard to do covered in your own blood. Looks like he abandoned that plan and is going for an America X type finish?
Oh, is that the movie with Tyler Durden?
Yeah, sure. With Matt Damon.
Butterbean seemed to have gotten in some good hits, but it ends up on the floor. How many more hits can his blubber take?
42.
Is that some Star Trek reference?
Yeah, it's Yoda's favorite number.
That looked bad. It looks like it is lights out for Eric.
Somewhat anticlimactic. He seemed to be taking it on the chin.
Which one?
The scorecard is here, and it seems to be a well-scored match. Maybe Benchamek will be unpleased that he did not get the flare points.
Should have thought of that before he started bleeding. But he did pick up 7.1 points, 1 point for the KO, while sharing 0.5 points with Butterbean for a bloodied match and 0.3 for main eventing.
With the last match of E1 behind us, we can see the pundits weren't that off. The predicted number 1 and 2 are reversed, but only a 0.1 point separates them.
And that 0.1 points, which are the flare points Benchamek ended up not getting by the way. They mean the difference between facing Valentina, who is ranked last at the moment, or Loma, who is ranked 7.
I think despite the loss, Lesnar is also one of the biggest winners tonight. He is ranked 4th above both Helio and Loma, who actually won.
And what about Mirko and Tyson, who will be missing E2?
I heard the AOFF are in talks with Muhammad Ali and Ernesto Hust to possibly replace them if their demands are reasonable. Otherwise, the AOFF might just downsize E2 to a 4-fight event. Anyway, this has been Dave and Guy ending transmission, and hoping to see you soon in E2.
Greetings and salutations. This is Oga, the creator of this lovely mess. Some behind the scenes stuff. What I wanted to do is to thank everybody for watching and for the very nice feedback I got from most of you. I will actually single out Lord 2NZ. I will actually single out Lord 2NZ, who, to be honest, I'm not even sure is even human. Because I'm starting to think he's some kind of a manifestation of my own sick mind. Because he usually just appears at 2 a.m. my time and grants me all my wishes. Actually, let me give a colorful analogy of our interactions. Here is me, Oga, starting to a caveman in anything to do with Fire Pro modding. So here am I, Oga, booing around, trying to get out of the Stone Age and creating a square wheel. A creation that the best thing you could say about it is that from a technical point of view, it works. So here I am trying to get to the other town with my square wheel. And then Lord 2NZ shows up. Now that I think about it, it's probably from New Zealand. So it's like, oi mate. Actually New Zealand, so it's probably a ship. So, oi mate, nice wheel you got there. Okay, I'll stop with the accents. Oi mate, nice square wheel you have there, governor. You know you can chip the edges and make it round, make it a wheel. And I'm like, ooga booga, that's a very good idea. Let's implement it immediately. And then he's like, you know, I have a jet engine that I designed for the last 2 years. Maybe you want to try that? And I was like, what? You know, okay, well, I guess your space shuttle is a bit faster than my square wheel. So, you know, who am I to stifle innovation? I'll give it a shot. Thank you very much. Would you like a cookie? Or my firstborn? Or I don't know. Because as far as I'm concerned, you're some kind of a deity that just shows up and then answers all of my prayers. So thank you very much, Lord 2NZ. Who actually has his own mod and his own site, which I encourage you to visit. I will link in the description. So you can all bask in the Lord of Ships' magnificence. Sorry, I meant bask in his magnificence. Now, E1 was always supposed to be somewhat of a proof of concept to see what I can do, what is actually too much work, and what can be easily improved. And already in E2 we will see major changes, probably a new arena and a much improved fighter AI with more fluent fighting. But sadly this will come at the cost of the 2 new fighters that I was hinting about. Muhammad Ali is pretty much done, but Ernesto Hust is way off. And honestly, I'm not even sure I want them, because they are very similar to what we have now. I actually want to bring in a sumo wrestler and actually have someone very unusual in mind. Or if you guys have any suggestions, don't hold your tongue, please share them in the comments, and I'm very open to suggestions. I also want to bring to your attention that the AOFF actually has a site. It was made by me on Wix, on a Dell. Now, I'm no web designer, and I'm somewhat biased, but I actually don't think it's the ugliest thing out there. And if you want to check that out, that will be really nice of you. It's where you can find the rules and where I will keep stats and other interesting tidbits. So this has been Oga, thanking you again for your time. If you actually like what you see, you can subscribe to my channel. I won't hold that against you. And I hope to see E2 in a much improved OAFF E2.